What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. All right, Deb, this is for you. Izzy, come here. I think this is who you were asking to see. There's your puppy, Isabel, the cutest dog in the whole world, Daddy. Yeah, say hello, everybody. Izzy, who is that? Who is it?
Hello, everybody. I'm just sitting here with my pops.
That's my little girl right there. My little chicken nugget. Anyways, I haven't had her on here for a little bit, so figured I'd bring her on because I know Deb was asking on the live stream and I forgot to bring her up. So this is Izzy, my little girl. She's a cute doggy. You had your 15 seconds of fame, baby. Now just go. Just kidding. Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? Kind of a different video today for you guys. As you guys have seen kind of lately, I've been having people on my channel that have beat their opiate addiction and are still beating it, and they've moved on or are moving on from Suboxone. I'm not sure how many of you have been with me for the long haul. I'm sure some of you have been and have followed my journey over the years. But I just kind of wanted to make a video just kind of talking about like my outlook on the channel and what it's all come to up until now. Definitely is not what I had in mind, right? So if you go back to my first video, like it could even be 4 years ago now. I don't know, like every time I look back at the actual date on videos like from the past, I just can't believe how much time has gone past. Like I can think back to that moment and it feels like it was just a few months ago, right? And it was years ago. And usually when I think it's like 2 years, it's actually been like 4 years. So when I look back on like the first couple of videos of this channel, I was literally like right where I'm at right now with the same Suboxone dose. Now granted, the first video I made, I had done like a pretty rapid taper to get down to 1 milligram. I think that's what I was on. It was something like that, but just for the ease of things, I'll just say I'm right at about that dose still right now, right? And as you guys have followed me over the years, you've seen me go, let's see, I first tried jumping off of Suboxone at 3 milligrams. That was a fail. I think I'm just going over rough memory. I think I made it like 50 or 60 hours off of the medication. And then the withdrawal hit me really hard on like day 2 or day 3 in the middle of my sleep. And it really freaked me out because it was able to be okay during the day, and then it just hit me so hard in the middle of my sleep. And I remember it was after I took my Ambien. So I was like, oh, I'll be good for sure to sleep tonight. And it hit me really hard and woke me up straight up out of my sleep with restless legs. And it really just kind of freaked me out. So I missed that one up, or didn't miss that one up. I just didn't make it past 3 milligrams when I jumped off there. So then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to taper down to 1 milligram. That's got to be doable, right? That's got to be totally doable. So I tapered down to 1 milligram. On day 1 of jumping off of 1 milligram, and this was like 3 years ago now at this point, day 1, my back was dripping sweat. Like I was kicking into withdrawals the very first day. And I remember telling my girlfriend, I was like, feel this, feel my back. And we're just chilling in our room doing nothing, right? And I'm just drenched in sweat. So that really freaked me out. I was like, okay, well, clearly this isn't going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be with 1 milligram. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep tapering because clearly this medication is strong, as I found out then. So as you guys might remember that followed me from back in the day, I tapered down to 1/4 milligram, give or take. It was roughly 1/4 milligram. It was kind of a rushed taper. I mean, when I say rushed, I mean it was like, if I remember right, I want to say I went from 1 milligram to 1/4 milligram in maybe like a month's time. That's just a rough guesstimate. So it was kind of a rapid taper. Considered to how I look at it now. And off of that, I can't remember how far I made it. I think I made it. I don't even remember, guys. I really don't. It's been so long ago, but I made it obviously further. Maybe how long was it? Maybe a couple weeks, a few weeks, something like that, right? So, but that was with the help of occasional kratom here and there. Like I remember, my day 3 would be the first day I would take a few kratom tablets because I was just like over the no energy, and the restless legs was still kicking my butt at that point. But the restless legs did start to go away around like day 8 or day 9, if I can recall. Anyways, so long story short, I had this was when I was in Idaho. I did all those things when I moved to Idaho. Okay, and at the time I was very like how do I say it? I guess motivated or inspired by my relationship that I had. I had a beautiful girlfriend, and it was the best relationship that I've ever had. You guys have probably heard me talk about this before. And things ended up going south with that. There was a couple of things that had happened in kind of a short range of time. So I made the decision, and also a business opportunity came back up for me in Utah, which I took as like, okay, this is my sign to go ahead and roll out. So basically, she had the option to either come back with me, and we were probably going to separate once we got back to Utah, or she could just stay there, and she loved it there. So she stayed there, and she's now happy with somebody else. So good for her. And it all kind of worked out the way it should have, I guess, for her, right? So I came back. I was distraught. I was extremely depressed coming back to the place that I did not want to come back to, where I had some crazy dramatic ex-girlfriends that lived here, and I've just been here my whole life. I'm just like, to come from where I was, I was living in a beautiful, brand new, freaking very nice home, and to come back and not really be sure where I was gonna go, and I had all my crap in a U-Haul. It was just very like, I literally almost turned around and went back out there and just said, screw it, like, let's work past the issues that we had. I did not want to come back to Utah, but I toughed it out. I got into my new townhome at the time, and I had to start my car dealership from scratch, right? Again, after I just closed the same location too, guys. So just before the whole story starts, I had opened this car dealership about 5 years ago in 2017. I got in a car accident on Christmas that reactivated my addiction to painkillers. The doctor gave me painkillers for my neck and my back, and that reignited my addiction. Before you know it, I had my drug dealer bringing drugs to my business location, and I just knew. I knew when I got to that point, I was like, this is not gonna work, dude. This is not gonna freaking work. I was like, nope. So I closed my business literally like a month or two after I just spent a ton of energy getting this business started. Okay. So that was a huge letdown. And what sucks too is that I was immediately successful with the business. I was kicking ass, but I was working myself so hard though, because I was afraid to fail. I've always been afraid of failure in life. So that's kind of changed over the last few years, I would say. But before that, I like could not let myself fail. So I was working so much, and just taking care of myself started going downhill. That's back when I was popping caffeine pills all day long, and I started having heart issues. My heart would kick into AFib, if you guys know what that is. And I almost passed out one day when I was driving. So I went to the ER, and they were like kind of freaking out. They're like, yeah, something's definitely wrong. So we traced it back to my daily caffeine. Every morning, guys, I would wake up and take three caffeine pills, which is 600 milligrams. Pop those first thing in the morning and put on a cup of coffee. Have maybe a pot of coffee. Have a couple of cups of coffee. Before you know it, that's 1,000 milligrams of caffeine, right? That's not good for the ticker. And what's funny is that, or not funny, I should say, is that I couldn't even feel it. My body was so used to it. I could just take that and then take my Suboxone and then go right back to sleep because my body had such a high tolerance to caffeine. But unfortunately, just because you don't feel it here, because your tolerance is so high, doesn't mean your body isn't getting taxed, right? Your body's getting the wrath, even though you're not getting the benefits, the psychological benefits that you once did. So be careful with caffeine, guys. Sorry, I kind of got off track there. I don't even know where I was going with that. Shoot. This is definitely not planned and just kind of just shooting off the hip with what I'm talking about here. Anyways, so came back to Utah. I was extremely depressed. Got back going on Suboxone because I had my medication back from my girlfriend who had my lockbox at the time. I had it back. Obviously, I dipped back in there. I had to be under the influence of Suboxone to even drive away from her, and like looking back at the house, and it's just like nightmare shit. Like I had to be numbed out of that or else I wouldn't have been able to do it, right? It was that hard because like I was just crazy for this girl. And so anyways, so when that whole relationship went south, I kind of lost like my motivation, my why I want to get off Suboxone. I wanted to get off of it for her, to be a better man for her, right? So come back to Utah. I'm overwhelmed with extraordinary amount of work to have to do, and to come from not working while I was in Idaho to come back and have to start a business from scratch while also going through a fresh breakup, while also coming back to a place where there's a lot of drama, potential, and just a place that just doesn't inspire me anymore. All those things were more than enough excuse for me to go ahead and start taking Suboxone again. I started at like 2 milligrams. Quickly it went up to 4 milligrams, and I was like kind of freaking out at that point. And I want to say for it was maybe a few days, I even got up to 8 milligrams, right? I was just trying to do, and I remember at this time I was so effing depressed, guys, that I would not answer the phone for anybody. This is at the time when I was probably at my lowest depression. I would just stay in bed all day, even though I knew I had to get to work and get my business started. I would just stay in bed all freaking day, right? This is when I would take 5-hour showers, right? And I wouldn't answer anybody's texts, nobody's calls. It was bad, guys. It was really bad. The one person I would talk to was Rockin' Roberta. And I know you guys have heard me talk about this before. For some reason, I don't know, she was like the only person that really understood me, I felt like, and understood what I was going through. And I really felt like she was really the only person that really even cared to listen to what I was going through, even though I'm sure that wasn't true, but that's just how I felt. And her and I, even though we never met in person, we did have like a great friendship over the phone. She's the reason this channel exists. I've said that before. So that was a very rough time, but I pulled through it. I got my dose down. I started working. I got the momentum rolling. I remember making videos. I was probably around 4 milligrams, and then I made a video letting everybody know I was back on Suboxone for my depression. Do you guys remember that video? Basically, I was just doing whatever I could to not feel the emotional pain that I was feeling. So that's what I did, and it worked. It got me through, but I was a zombie for a while because my tolerance was so low that going from nothing to 2 to 4 to 8 milligrams, that's a high dose if you have a low or no tolerance. So you've been off it for a while, right? So your tolerance is going to be really low. So, all right. So from there, I got tapered back down. What else happened? So I ended up moving into my business inside a large RV that I had purchased. So I was living at work now I did that for a year, right? While I was doing that, living at my business, running my business, I had tapered down again. This time, I can't remember what dose I jumped off this time. I want to say it was half of a milligram, maybe a quarter of a milligram, something like that. And then I'd switch. That's when I tried taking kratom to get off, like just to make the transition, right? Because you guys have seen in the past, I have experience with kratom. That's no secret. Uh, I did think that I would be able to just take kratom for, what was it, a week or two, and then taper the kratom. I had it all planned out. Like, first day I had 15 capsules of kratom. The second day I would take 14 capsules of kratom, and that worked for until I got down to like 8 capsules of kratom. As soon as I got to 8 capsules of kratom, that's when I couldn't go any further than that, right? Because I was waking up at like 4 in the morning and I had restless legs. I could not go back to sleep. I was just laying there miserable in bed. And I remember I kept trying and I kept trying and I kept trying, and I couldn't get below that 7 or 8 capsules, whatever it was. And my sleep was just horrible night after night after night after night for over a month. It was well over a month of just crappy nights sleep. And I was like, this is not working, dude. This is not freaking working. So, just a quick side note for any of you guys that I do still get comments. Obviously, people they comment on the video where I talked about it was like day 6, no Suboxone with low dose kratom. Part of me wants to delete that video, but part of me thinks that maybe some people that could work for. Just a quick side note, I do not believe that was the right way to go. It was just a test basically that I had tried. As you guys could tell, so going back to my story here, I said, F it, I'm tired of not sleeping. I'm not getting any better. I was taking the same 8 capsules a day for like a month, and I would hoped that I would have been able to taper from there, but I just couldn't do it. So I got very frustrated. I was just so tired all the time. And so I want to say it was like half of a milligram of Suboxone. I was like instant relief, right? Like I could sleep again. So long story short, I went back on Suboxone off of kratom. So I went from kratom, Suboxone to kratom, back to Suboxone. So looking back on everything, knowing what I know, what I've experienced, I personally believe on a low dose to low dose, Suboxone is a much better. If you have to choose one, Suboxone is much better. And the main reasons are because you only need to take it once or twice a day, versus kratom, you need to take it 4, 5, 6 times a day, right? So that's why, that's the main reason why. So that's that. Just a quick side note. However, some people have been able to, if you can be so strict with kratom and just only take 1 or 2 capsules when you're really just suffering to the max. That's how Sonny got off Suboxone, right? So I was trying to do what he did, but it didn't work for me how he did. I was taking more than him at the start, which I thought was still pretty low considering what most people take. But if you can be ultra strict with your kratom, I think that could work for some people. It's funny, everybody that I've had on the channel that has shared their success story, they've all had a different way and different things that worked for them to get off of Suboxone. So I also heard Nicole saying not too long ago that I think it was Dr. B had said, or somebody had said, it takes on average somebody 7 tries to get off of Suboxone. And that might sound totally asinine, and it kind of does if you haven't gone through it, but I could totally believe that, and that I might just become a statistic with that, because I've now tried 4 times, guys, to get off Suboxone, and here I am still making videos 4 years later. Now I don't mean to be discouraging. You guys know that's not what I'm about, is discouraging anybody, but I just want you guys to know the realistic life that I'm going through. This is just my journey. It's messy as hell, and I'm glad you guys are all still supporting me after failing you guys so many times. It might take me 5 more times to figure this out. Who knows? Maybe I'm not ever supposed to get off Suboxone. Who knows, guys? All I know is that it's constantly on my mind. I feel very trapped at this point. I feel frustrated as hell. And most importantly, guys, I feel embarrassed. I feel embarrassed for myself. It's been really hard to keep making videos, you know? It's been really hard for me to keep making videos. As you guys can see lately, I've tried to take a different approach to it. Since I haven't been able to have success getting off, I've been having people on that have been able to have success getting off. So that means since I'm like one of the bigger Suboxone channels, I mean, I'm not really big. I only have thousand something subscribers, but considering how many others, like most Suboxone channels have just like a couple of videos, you know, random videos, and they never check back in. But as far as somebody who keeps up and like tries to keep everybody up to date with stuff, like there's only really a couple channels like that, if that I know of anyway. um, so basically, like, I just don't want you guys to get discouraged because you're seeing that I can't get off of it. You know, maybe there's a part of me that doesn't want to get off of the medication. I mean, I don't really know what the hell's going on in my brain, to be honest. I'm just human, guys. I've got a lot of experience tapering. I have a lot of experience with high dose painkiller addiction, and you know, I've had a lot of addictions that I have conquered in my life, but this Suboxone dependence, I guess you could call it, since I'm only down to 1 milligram, it's just been hard, guys. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of trying all their different types of medications. I've even been throwing around the idea of going to a rehab, and that has never even been like something that I would consider. Just somebody locked me in a damn box for 2 weeks. I don't know, man. Like, maybe I could go on vacation to like Cancun or something. Go on a cruise somewhere and try to just suffer it out on the cruise. I don't know, guys. All I know is that I'm frustrated, but I'm not giving up. That's the most important thing. And I hope that I don't ever give up. Give up hope that I can be off this medication and still live a good life, right? Because the little devil will tell you every day that you can't do that. You can't do that. And trust me, that little devil is on my shoulder every single day. Every single day he's in there telling me, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. So somewhat honestly, guys, I'm getting somewhat desperate now. Overly frustrated. I mean, this has just been like, why is this so hard? Why is this so hard for me to overcome this, dude? What? But like I said, I'm trying not to be so discouraging with this video, but also I have to be real with you guys. And it's no secret that I've tried getting off this medication many times now, and here I am still on it. Now, I do want to say just a quick side note that being on 1 milligram versus being on 16 milligrams, that is an entirely different experience. Entirely different experience. Like, it's a huge difference, guys. So if you're feeling like crap and you're on 8, 16, 24 higher milligrams, just know that you can taper down, right? So I kind of look at Suboxone as like, Suboxone tapering is basically 2 different levels, right? So from anything above 2 milligrams, so from 2 milligrams to 50 milligrams, that's level 1, right, of Suboxone tapering. Level 2 is 2 milligrams to 0. It's like 2 different levels and two different lifestyles, honestly. Like, when I was on 4 milligrams, I couldn't even satisfy myself and finish, right? That's how strong of a medication it is. And that was so frustrating to me that I couldn't do that. I was so pissed. I was like, I'm not going to take this medication if I can't even do that, right? I remember like doing tests, certain doses. It was like anything over 3.5 milligrams, and I could not finish myself off. Sorry for the TMI, but like that just goes to show you that it's a very strong medication, and I've made this very clear over the years. So if you're struggling with sexual issues and you're on higher doses, just know that they do get better. Constipation, also another huge thing, and that was also anything above 2 milligrams. So I say that to say, basically, if you can taper down to like somewhere around 2 milligrams, whatever side effects you're having will go mostly away, right? To where things, you can live somewhat normal of a life. I can't tell you how many times, how many days I would wake up just trying like whatever I could do to have a bowel movement, and just feeling so overwhelmed and kind of scared, honestly, to not be able to use the bathroom. That's kind of freaking scary, especially when I was bodybuilding and eating a lot of foods. Like, if you're eating that, it's got to come out, right? So I've had plenty of scary days where I would sit on the toilet and not be able to get that, and I do not miss those days at all. Combined with that, I've told you guys the biggest side effects for me have been constipation and erection issues, or ejaculation delays, or something like that. Just weird sexual side effects that no man wants to experience. So those are the main two things. And then you have other things like sleeping way too much, being tired or zombie feeling, like antisocial. Like, those are other things as well, but like the main physical things were the first two that I mentioned, as far as higher doses go. So it is not that hard, guys, to start tapering. So if you're stuck on a high dose and you're not going to relapse, and you're not worried about relapsing, talk to your doctor about asking about slowly starting to taper, guys, because, and I'm hoping that most of you guys can be working with the doctor, because it will make the process much better in most cases. Most doctors are good. There are some out there that don't really know the medication very well. So it helps that you're doing your own research, learning what other people who are actually using the medication are going through, right? So you can see what to expect on your journey. And also take in mind too that not everybody's going to have the issues that I have. Everybody's bodies are different. So keep that in mind. Some people might be able to have totally normal sex life at 16 milligrams. I think that not many people can, especially after being on it for a while. It seems like after you're on the medication for a while is when the side effects kind of start piling in more, and like the pros and the cons start to kind of weigh out, and it starts to become something that you just kind of know deep down you want to get off. Maybe that's another reason why it's been so hard for me to finish it up, just because there's not a lot of side effects that I'm experiencing. I'm not breaking any laws right now. My medication is already paid for. Like, there's just not much really hassles as far as what I'm going through right now. The biggest hassle is that the fact that it's on my mind all day, that I want to get off of it. There may come a time where I just have to accept, like, I might need this low dose for a while, and I want to hope that that's not true. But I tried to get full, like I've told you guys in the past, that I was kind of addicted to steroids in my 20s, and I actually tried cold turkeying from opiates and steroids. That's a whole other video. I need to make that video to share some of my steroid addiction experiences. I literally remember tried doing that while going through a crazy relationship. It's just disastrous. Don't ever do that to yourself, guys. So basically, I ruined my body's testosterone production to where I gave it synthetic testosterone. Not my arm, sorry, it was in the booty. So long story short with that is, now I have to be on testosterone replacement therapy for the rest of my life. I ruined my body basically, so now I have to give myself a little tiny bit of testosterone. And yes, it's legit. Yes, my numbers are in the normal testosterone range, not way above like they used to be when I would put in whatever I wanted into my body, right? So I had to come to terms with the fact that I ruined my testosterone for life, more than likely. So I came to peace with, okay, I have to be on testosterone replacement therapy. In a way, it's kind of turned out to be a blessing, because I believe that synthetic testosterone can be a form of male birth control. There was actually clinical trials done, I think it was in Japan or something. They were looking at prescribing testosterone to be used as male birth control. Now, I'm not giving you the blessing to say, yeah, go ahead and do whatever you want, but there's a great chance that you may be shooting blanks if you're on testosterone. And thinking back over all the relationships that I've had over the years, it's a really good thing that I didn't have any children, because that I could barely manage my own life. I don't want to have to manage baby mama drama and trying to raise a child in this very hard world. And props to you guys that are able to do that. I think you're heroes if you can manage that, especially doing it while being single, being a single mom or a single dad. I seen how hard that was for my mom growing up. I'm the product of a single mama raised boy, and I definitely suffer certain psychological issues from that. My dad wasn't hardly ever there for me. He was off partying and drinking, and long story short, he killed himself, and he was addicted to meth and all kinds of stuff. So I was trying not to be like him, but slowly but surely, I mean, I'm not that bad, like on some like meth and stuff like he was, but still, man, I mean, the addiction runs in my family for sure, right? So I just wanted to make this video, guys, because it's been on my mind, just to let you guys know that I'm sorry that I've failed you guys so many times, but in a way, it's been great to just kind of push other people up into the limelight, right? Trying to get Matt's channel going. I did the same thing with Joe, and he jumped off. Just try to I just want to spread the hope that people can do it, and people are doing it, and they have done it. So some people, I remember there was one comment somebody made a couple of years ago. They're like, if this guy can't even do it, I'll never be able to do it. And I don't want you guys to take that type of stuff, like take anything that I post that way. Like, I'm literally just a regular freaking dude. Just because I have muscles does not mean that my psychological stuff is any better. In fact, it's probably much worse than most people. Trust me. Like, I suffer with a lot of issues in my head: depression, anxiety, like commitment issues. I don't trust anybody. Trust me, I have plenty of emotional damage that has been done over the years, as we all do, right? So I'm not trying to play like victim stuff or whatever. I'm just letting you guys know that I'm truly embarrassed, and I'm truly sorry that I haven't been able to do what I had set out to do. The entire reason I even made this channel was because Rock and Roberta told me to get on here and share my story. So I did, right? And here we are years later, and I'm still on the medication. Hopefully I can keep having people on. It's great for me to see that other people can do it, because it lets me know that, okay, it's possible. You know, Matt right now is going through day 14 or whatever, day 15. So he's doing it, right? He's actually doing it, and it's happening right now in the world. People can do it. So hopefully me hearing everybody's stories and sharing the positivity, hopefully that can show you guys and help you guys all find your own way, because it will be different for everybody, right? If you guys have noticed, everybody that shared their story, it's been a different way that they've gotten out. Some went to rehab, some tried ketamine, some tried THC oil, some tried this, some tried kratom. Like, it's different for everybody, guys. And I encourage you to try different things with the help of your doctor and find what works for you. That's really all I kind of wanted to say for this video, guys. I have plenty of other things I want to talk about other than just Suboxone, and I've been saying this for years. I just need to start doing it. I want to talk about the bodybuilding stuff. I want to talk about diet. I want to talk about my steroid addiction when I had it. Maybe some relationship stuff, just experiences and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, that's really all I had to say for today's video. Sorry for failing you all so many damn times, but I appreciate the support that you guys have always been kind to me. And if I can find my way out of this, then great. If not, hopefully I can still keep you guys videos coming. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye, guys.